Google, being a monopoly, will try their best to influence the public data and their own data that there is no drop in search. So definitely there is drop in search.
What's behind this Perplexity making an offer to Google?
Perplexity has not got the legs in terms of numbers. In my view, the Perplexity owner knows his thunder can be stolen any day. So first thing he's done is he's come to India.
They've cracked the India distribution by getting into a tie-up with Airtel.
The time spent is going very, very highly in the short video platform. The washroom time, the pre-sleep time is going to short video.
What is the role of genuineness and honesty in the kind of content you create? Is there an elevated role for these two attributes when it comes to content creation?
So first there was original content. This original content inspired some AI content. So it became 80-20. Then it became 70-30. Then the inspiration 30-40% is AI content.
Hi, welcome everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Sell Side Discussions. This is an extension of the podcast that I've been doing for the last year or so, featuring leaders from the media and advertising industries, which is called Sell Side Conversations. So we're starting a new series where we'll discuss topical things with domain experts, industry experts, and get their views and opinions on it. So this is the very first session. It's co-hosted by my friend Junaid Hakim. Junaid, hi, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And our guest and expert for today is Sandeep Amar. Sandeep also is an ex-colleague from Times Internet. Sandeep is actually a domain expert or considered to be an expert, and unarguably the expert in search and growth marketing. He's had many companies, many publishers with their growth and traffic hacking solutions. So Sandeep, welcome to the discussion.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Junaid. Thank you, Watan.
So right off, we'll start off by this AI is all pervading, is everywhere over here. This whole talk about traffic falling down. There's stats that I was watching where over the last 1 year, traffic from Google has fallen down by about 30% to most publishers, ballpark, and that is estimated to sort of increase further as we move along. So Sandeep, sort of give us an overview of how AI is affecting search and what are the broad trends that you're seeing. And my third question is obviously from a CMO angle or a marketer angle, what are the things that one should keep in mind?
So I think first let's understand why the search traffic is going down. So the first reason for search traffic down is, although Google, as per various data points, there is a 10% drop in search, but there is an overall drop in search itself. The number of searches which are happening, and Google, being a monopoly, will try their best to influence the public data and their own data that there is no, drop in search. So definitely there is drop in search. One example is, you may have heard of the company Sheg. Sheg was a company which used to help kids do homework by offering the homework solutions and other things. I think they are almost destroyed by ChatGPT and other companies, because most of kids now taking help of ChatGPT. So a huge amount of searches have moved, especially the education searches, and there are many other searches, especially wherein content requirement is there, have moved to, um, you know, LLMs like ChatGPT and Gemini. And Claude is a great writing model, as we all know. So Claude, there is a lot of movement. Some people, more the educated class, use Perplexity also a lot. And so another thing is that search in itself has come down a little, for the reasons that maybe people are spending more time on short video platforms, although it's not directly related. But even news consumption has overall come down, because people's interest in news has come down. And young people don't read news; they don't look at newspapers. So that is one case. Second thing which is there is that search has introduced AI overviews, or earlier they said generative overview, and now they say AI overviews, and more recently AI mode is introduced. Now within AI overviews, especially on the mobile phone, the citations are also not visible. And for normal users, citations, don't make much sense, you know what I'm saying? They just see it and they treat it as the word of God. And they kind of got the answer and they move on. So number of clicks to the publishers have definitely come down. Even in this case, I think 2-3 weeks back, Google's head of search, and last 4-5 weeks, since Europe has come hard on Google, and Google has already lost a case of monopoly against Department of Justice in United States. And you remember that 3-4 years back, Australia, Facebook lost a case in Australia where Australian Prime Minister himself advocated the case in Parliament. So Google, again being a monopoly, is trying to say, their head of search said, and for lack of better word, they've got these paid, market speakers. All monopolies have kept these guys, you know, who are quote unquote market experts, but they are actually stooges, for lack of better word, of these monopolies. So now they've released these stooges by saying that AI overviews does not impact clicks. There is no impact. Everything is fine. Rather, the clicks have become of better quality and they are the same clicks. I hear a lot of big experts also claiming that. As soon as you hear this, you must acknowledge that that person is paid in one way or the other by Google. So there is a massive amount of drop in clicks. And obviously, there are searches with zero click searches, as people call it. So drop is definitely there. Now, drop is especially there in case of multiple terms, but the drop is a little less in terms of news. Because when news like Rahul Gandhi or Narendra Modi search, you'll see less of that AI overview or a specific incident like Noida dowry murder case or something like that. Here, see, if Google makes an error in AI overviews, it's a tripartite case. The content provider, Google, against, whoever puts the case. So it's a tripartite case. Google doesn't want to get into tripartite cases of politics.
Okay.
Even if you see Gemini versus ChatGPT and you ask questions about Mr. Modi or Rahul Gandhi or Indian democracy, Gemini will be very careful. ChatGPT is rather open-minded. You can check that out. But Google is a careful company that way. So
You've
that
done these experiments and seen it, huh?
Yes, I've seen it. And you can see when you search, the news box comes at the top, not the AI overviews for most of the news items. So there are areas where Google would not like to get much into it. And slowly and steadily, even ChatGPT and Perplexity would avoid. Because some of these answers can get very wrong. Like, I think yesterday only, I was not exactly aware of the news, but there's somebody who said something about Mr. Modi's mother.
Sorry, okay.
Yeah, something like that. I'm not too sure. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's rather below the belt, you know what I'm saying? You criticize a person who's in power, but whatever it is.
People have.
So what I'm trying to say is that, Google will never get into that area. So there are areas which Google may not populate AI overviews. Some enthusiastic person may do it, but then they'll face massive legal action.
Okay, interesting.
So we're saying, traffic is going down, search volumes are coming down. Is it also because marketplaces, quick commerce is also taking away a share from the searches pie? Is there a story over there? Is starting to delve deep into it?
See, I'm not sure if quick commerce is, impacting that. But I think one thing is in itself the nature of consumer behavior. The time spent is going very, very highly in the short video platform. Even if you see your own phones, when I see my own phone, the washroom time, the pre-sleep time is going to short video. And it is every day it's more than an hour. And it is shocking that I'm watching all those reels for an hour. And I think for people like traders, small shopkeepers, housewives, the time is like 3 hours plus. And see, Google search at some level is driven by search for news and maybe search for other things. But news is a little more. Obviously, when India-Pakistan conflict was there, the search volume went up. So I think there is overall less interest in news. So that is also impacting Google. And one of the biggest thing which is impacting Google is a lot of these searches have moved to LLMs, especially education and research and other things. A person clearly knows that he's going to get a better answer on ChatGPT. Um, a lot of literary answers if you want to get something made. The sentence creation at Claude can be magical. But at the same time, these models are getting better and better and better. So, people are moving there.
100%. I think the other thing that's happening is a lot of news gets served to you instead of you searching for the news. For example, the -1 screen will serve you all the information or articles or content related to topics of your interest instead of you logging into a browser and then searching for something. So is that also because the machine learning is also getting, I mean, there's more data available now for the machine to process and therefore serve you something that actually interests you, right? So there is the data volume has also gone up considerably. And therefore, the content being served to you today is of much more relevance versus what it was, let's say, 10 years back, right? So the -1 screen, is that also playing a role here? Do you see that as something that's taking away volumes from search?
Yes. See, there is a huge amount of, um, I mean, let's look at YouTube, how it has grown. When YouTube started off, when we used to look at YouTube analytics, the number one traffic source was search. People used to search. And for many years, it was recommended videos, which come on the side or just under the video while you're watching the video. So a lot of even 2-year-old kids, 3-year-old kids would keep navigating YouTube because, of suggested video. Now, then after that, it became shorts because swipe, 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 it was short. And shorts still continues to remain number one. But a very competitive category to shorts is what they call as browse feature. Browse feature is essentially homepage recommendations. So a lot of people just open YouTube homepage for no reason, like me or you. And then they get things which, the algorithm provides and they are able to navigate. And this is so big. This is as almost as big as shorts in for many channels. So this shows that, that consumption is there. And Google Discover is huge because India is an Android country. So Google Discover, which is in Chrome just under the search bar, uh, for most of the news sites, it's 75% of the traffic is coming from Discover. So, Junaid, you are right. They're not searching for news, but if the news is in your path, they're happy with it. You know what I'm saying? So, news has to come in the path of the user. That is the way news has to fly.
It's getting served to you naturally, right? Then you going out and seeking for it. Yeah, got it.
Yes. So, we call it very simply in news industry. News is not uh, news is not a direct need unless there is a big conflict, big match. News most of the time is a latent need. So if it comes in front of you, you'll click on it. If it doesn't come, you might not look for it.
That's a good point you made between reactive and proactive sort of approach with news. Sandeep, moving on. Now, given what you've told us about the changing dynamics of search and some categories and some industries are more affected than the others, um, what should a CMO look for? Because a lot of D2C brands, a lot of CMOs, a lot of the entire marketing industry actually works on search. What are things that these folks should keep in mind?
Now here, both of you gentlemen have to tell me a little bit. I have a lot of friends as CMOs, but I think they say different things to me and they do different things in the market. So I don't know I keep abusing them left, right and center. तो क्या कर रहे हो यार? मतलब बोलते कुछ हो, करते कुछ. You know, so you guys are in this business, maybe dealing with them as clients and partners. So I've not dealt with much CMOs as partner. So um, I think the way the advent has been there of advertising, most of the advertising is moved performance ways. Even for the brand building thing, I don't see much brand building happening. From a performance standpoint, there is a guy who says, I'm doing a P Max campaign, X Max campaign, this Max campaign, that Max campaign on Google. And they say, most of the CMOs don't get it, what P Max means. So he'll say, हाँ कुछ कर रहा है technical, तो मैं बेकार शर्मिंदा होने की जगह कुछ नहीं बोलता. Let me not say anything. Yeah. How much leads are we going to get? He's mostly an IM guy, or he has enough IQ to ask a few questions. You know what I'm saying? And as such, senior people understand how to justify their jobs. You know what I'm saying? And they're able to ask for, well, okay, what is
Oh, yeah, I know
CTR or
quite a
what
few
is
of these folks. I know we all know people who can justify their jobs.
yeah. So basically, he'll say what is happening, and he'll never ask them to open the Google campaign. So I think, in my view, one mistake CMOs have made is they've never asked the Google campaigns to be opened up and understand what is this. See, at the end of the day, obviously, let me first answer the question. See, search is becoming smaller, so search deliveries have significantly come down. No campaign can deliver on search. Okay. I mean, search is like your 5% campaign, 10% campaign. Search is not going to fly. And the meta campaigns as such are not performance oriented. There may be many agents you will be saying that, performance through Facebook, this, that. I mean, basically you sell whatever you can, right? I mean, like if the buyer is ready, and I dare not talk about kickbacks in the industry, but you know what I'm saying. The justification of everything, if you want to justify it. Okay. So fair enough. So they'll say meta campaign chalao, meta se performance aa rahi hai. Well, whatever they want to do. Finally, search cannot deliver. Search doesn't have numbers. So that is one clear thing. My advice to CMOs: anybody who says the Google search is converting, it cannot scale. It may convert, it may be good, it is intent users, but it cannot scale. It cannot run through even 20-30% of your marketing budget because there's not enough search volume on those keywords. It's impossible. And even when you do competition targeting, you're going to pay double the price to stand there because Google would push quality score of that particular, because there's a brand match, what I'm XYZ and XYZ, and you are ABC trying to get the impressions for XYZ. So fair enough, you're going to give it a shot, but that is also not very scalable because you're paying from your nose, to just get a good position, and a lot of times Google will remove you from that. In case CTR is not coming, Google knows that consumer is searching for something else and you are a competitive brand, and so search doesn't fly. Most of the campaigns are running on display, and display is classic display. You know what I'm saying? There is a banner, and banner is seen and it is clicked. Here where I feel the CMOs do not want to understand the details of the campaign, because if consumer is not blind, consumer, like Ogilvy says, consumer is not a moron. She's your wife, or it could be he's your wife, whatever it is. you know so now consumer sees the banner, consumer clicks on it, consumer lands on a landing page, I'm assuming, and fills out something for you and something. I feel CMOs need to invest far more time in this classic creative to landing page to conversion, whereas most of the marketing teams are not invested into this. India is not a self-serve country. They want an agency to do this for you. They'll not look into this, and they'll make a statement like the traffic from XYZ website doesn't have good quality. No, your landing page doesn't have good quality. And the consumer is not blind. Consumer is clicking on a banner, coming on your landing page. Landing page is your responsibility. If you're not able to convert on the landing page, you said the traffic was not good because you don't want to work hard. So CMOs have to see these integrate points and not make things easier for the um, their own teams and agencies. And agencies push this pressure on publishers or anybody else, or Google or Facebook. The conversions we're getting from Google are better than the conversions we're getting from Facebook. All of these metrics, I think, is killing the performance of the campaign. So this is my advice, that they need to get into the campaign, understand the campaign, and once the consumer, say for example, I'll take an example. Suppose your banner is very attractive. Okay. So somebody clicks on it and comes on your landing page, and then there is a 90% drop. And you should know that this banner should be very transactional rather than very attractive. You get what I'm saying? Because the challenge is in the creative. So then, for example, there's 80% drop. Then you're asking for our phone number. Then there's another 50% drop. So only 10% people are left. 80% drop. Then out of 20, 10% drop. Then you ask for an OTP. Then another 5% people drop. So you need to see, how this is happening, and finally you get a COA or a CAC, whatever you call it, cost of acquisition or something. So at each point, you got to understand, look, how is it converting? Okay, who are you showing what? And in the day and age of performance, what you should do is the banners should not be very attractive in my view. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, really? Okay, that is something different that what have been generally preached.
See, because Gautam, if the banner is too attractive, then your drop rate on the landing page is going to be very high. Because I worked with an OTT brand, um, and there was a movie poster on most of the banners, but the person who's clicking on the banner thinks he's going to see the movie for free. He clicks on it and comes there. So in the performance era, you should clearly say this is what you're going to get. So at least you don't get these clicks. I mean, see, at this level, CMOs are very bright because most of the CMOs have come from a very brand background. So unfortunately, where CMOs are bright, they're not using their knowledge, is what I'm trying to say. They understand this part the best because they've come through the ranks, the rank of understanding brand, understanding consumer behavior. Because I was a CMO first. I mean, like I was in marketing. So classic marketing I've done across 2000s up to 2011 or 10 when I became the CMO. So because I was in digital in a difficult domain in low budgets and surviving at that time, so I had to work hard. But I don't see most of the brand CMOs doing it, and even in sense of Google campaigns, people use campaigns wherein most of the campaigns I see when I ask people to open the campaigns, the campaigns are cost of acquisition. So there is no effort on the part of the guy who's running the Google campaign. You understand what I'm saying?
God.
There's money that's being pumped in to acquire customers. There's no real effort in terms of optimizing the technology, the customer experience, the creative for that matter, to make it work harder. So yeah, I get it. I get the point on God.
But ना संदीप एक उनकी सोच अभी हुई कि AI will solve everything. Creative भी solve कर देगा and optimization भी solve कर देगा. So people are saying अभी यार this is just one magic. But AI will solve my everything for me. And that is general perception among most people, but obviously the reality is different. So what is the reality, sir, Sandeep, over here?
See, AI cannot solve everything. AI can only solve a few things. मतलब देखिए जैसे डिज़ाइन है, डिज़ाइन में एआई काफ़ी कुछ सॉल्व कर देगा। मतलब 80% तक ले आएगा और उसके बाद 20% ह्यूमन करना पड़ेगा। If somebody is selling, AI cannot solve it. AI cannot go and sell it for you. So there are a lot of jobs which AI doesn't impact at all. And when AI is used for customer support, like in case of telecom, and despite me holding a lot of shares of Reliance and वो जियो का तो कस्टमर केयर ही नहीं लगता, मतलब वो तो बस वो वही मतलब ह्यूमन आता ही नहीं है वहाँ पे, तो इट्स नॉट अ हैप्पी एक्सपीरियंस एट द एंड ऑफ द डे। एयरटेल में क्या है, वो एयरटेल ब्लैक कस्टमर है तो सीधा इंजीनियर से कनेक्ट कर देता है। तो अभी कल परसों ही एजीएम था, मैंने तो मेल भी लिखा है अभी, लेट्स सी आई एम होल्डिंग सिग्निफिकेंट रिलायंस शेयर्स कि भैया अभी क्या कर रहे हो। So I got a phone call. He said, "This is for your help from Geo." I got a so yeah, use of AI. They'll say we are helping you, but basically they're see the whole idea is save cost and all. You might have seen all the firings which are happening in Google and uh, this, and I am assuming there are a lot of quiet firings which are happening in TCS, Infosys, etc. तो बोलेंगे नहीं, अब मेरे को पता नहीं है, मतलब कुछ तो फायरिंग उन्होंने भी बोली है टीसीएस ने भी, so there is a public data around it. But AI cannot solve, I would say, most of the big business problems. The big business problems it cannot solve. Like in telecom, customer support is a very big problem because large number of customers and very consumer centric thing. There AI can solve a little bit of problem at the cost of customer dissatisfaction, but still it can solve. It can answer a lot of questions, understand it. But for most of the businesses, very difficult to solve. For technology businesses like coding, I think it can build snippets of code. So the designers may lose their jobs, the coders may lose their jobs, the online education platforms may get hit very badly, but not everything.
So this is it, informative and interesting at the same time. Junaid, any follow-up questions for Sandeep?
Actually, most of the questions have got answered for me. I mean, I think the one pertinent point Sandeep made is that decline in number of campaigns around branding Why is that happening, Sandeep? I mean, why is everyone focusing on middle and the bottom of the funnel, be it paid or organic? Why not visibility? Why do you want to straight away jump into conversions and not focus on top of funnel, build the brand, build the visibility, be it through organic channels or paid channels? Why is that happening?
I think there are two, three reasons of that. And Junaid, you would know, I mean, since you're from advertising industry, you'd know it far more than me that, you know, I mean, with the advent of satellite television, late 90s and early 2000 was the golden era in terms of, advertising. So there was a lot of effort in advertising. And if I remember the names correctly, I worked with Bobby Pawar, Sadbir Singh, and there were a lot of creative discussions. And um, our CEO Rishi Khani at that time, he was very creative. Gautam remembers that, and he used to spend time with Sadbir, and they used to think when I had a sword on my neck, so I couldn't be part of much of those discussions. Although I was the marketing head, but what has happened is that that creativity is gone. It's not there at all. Most of the ad campaigns are very, very mediocre, very mediocre. Television campaign, 60% off, this, that, Amazon sale, this. I mean, there's no creativity at all, zero. And one of the reasons for that, I feel, is the nature of Indian audiences. The nature of Indian audiences for majority. See, first of all, we have to understand. I'll take example from the news industry. In the early 2000s, the anchors used to speak good Hindi, quality Hindi, because the television sets were in quality households. Okay. Now they say bawal ho gaya, khel ho gaya, ye ho gaya. They use all the kind of language which are lower middle class uses, because lower middle classes are key audience. Okay. Same has happened for movies. All these lower middle class protagonist movies. Ayushman is like the epitome of that. This girl, that girl, dream girl. You know what I'm saying? So most of the movies are lead protagonist is now from a small town. So majority of our lower middle class people, their mentality is that I bought a watermelon. Now, what is my story of the watermelon? So I got this watermelon for 100 rupees. I want to extract 500 rupees out of it. So he takes it home, he puts it on dinner table, he cuts it, and then he remembers some news item he's read. He said, इसको खाने से taste भी आता है और kidney भी साफ होती है. So मतलब everything has to have 3-4 purposes, and the value has to be extracted fully. That is the Indian mentality.
ड्रामा
Okay,
ड्रामा चाहिए.
drama. नहीं, और वैल्यू चाहिए. मतलब 500 रुपए में मतलब एक एग्जाम्पल है कि 1 लाख रुपए का सोना नहीं चाहिए, 500 रुपए में कूड़ा चाहिए. चाहे कूड़ा ज्यादा होना चाहिए, बस ये जरूरी है. So another feature of that is, and a very important feature, see, देखिए ट्रस्ट और ब्रांड एक चीज होती है, बट अभी आप देखिए पहले जीरोधा ने सबको किल किया. यू नो ICICI Direct, HDFC Security, and they were in very bad shape. You know what I'm saying? In terms of you know uh, in terms of the product offerings they had. I mean, a lot of issues were there. So slowly, what happened was then Upstocks came along, Grow came along, and a lot of other things kept happening. So all of these Zerodhas and Upstocks of the world, they were doing discounted trading. You know what I'm saying? So India is the country of discount, that value, and that is happening more and more and more. Therefore, people feel that forget about, you know, brand building and all. Just, you know, go for that discount campaign.
क्वालिटी एक्सपेक्टेशन ही नहीं है.
क्वालिटी एक्सपेक्टेशन नहीं है.
वैल्यू
जैसे स्कोडा भी, हाँ, स्कोडा भी कैंपेन करेगा ना, तो कहेगा 2 लाख बेनिफिट्स. स्कोडा ये नहीं बोलेगा कि जर्मन इंजीनियरिंग है, मेरा इंजन जो है वो BMW ऑडी वाला इंजन ही है. वो सब नहीं समझाएगा कि मेरा स्टील अलग है. वो कहेगा 2 लाख रुपए बेनिफिट्स है कुशाक पे.
we don't value that. We don't value that, right? They'll sell.
Indians don't value that. See, Indians क्या ना, वो engine same ही है. Engines मोटा मोटा, if you see these Brezzas and Cretas of the world, the engine is I think 1.2 only. Okay, and many of these cars become underpowered because they put such a big, thing on the top. The Indian wants that big car. ऊपर का जो आयरन डोम होना चाहिए वो बड़ा होना चाहिए. So that big car is important. Or I mean, I think Indians have certain things in their mind. One is discount. The other is that we are all having low self-esteem from childhood. So that low self-esteem has to be covered by a bigger car, a bigger house, or some relative victory which we want. And that low self-esteem is so high. I mean, it doesn't let us rest. Like if you ask I mean, like the first time I went to Goa, long time back, I was in a hotel called Donna Silvia. It was in an area, wherein Russians were more there. So I would see Russians, lying on the sun for 8 hours. I mean, you and I cannot do it. I mean, like that's India. After 1 hour, I'll say, okay, where is my productivity? So forget about money. We want productivity out of time also.
Right. So
So that
Sapneem,
is why.
this whole you matched up on a very important consumer behavior. At least from Indian perspective, you don't value quality. हम लोग को value चाहिए, right? So Abhi, how does this whole this entire consumer behavior, how does it how you factor it into your search engine optimization strategy? How to manifest it in your search engine optimization strategy?
Yeah, so there are we create a lot of landing pages which we call as doorway pages, which are product comparison, benefits, those kind of things, one versus the other. Here you get this benefit, this more thing. Those landing pages work very well in India. 10 comparison. Like if you go to YouTube or if you go to Amazon, for example, first, and you type, headphones, so Amazon would not give you a Bose or a Sony or anything. It would give you a Boat and a Firebolt and there is a brand which starts with Z, Zebronics, something like that. Why? Because those are the ones which get sold. They Most of those headphones or smartwatches, if you search for, they'll be around 2-3 thousand rupees. And you wonder what are they doing? Why there is no because see they are playing to their algorithm. And on YouTube, if you go, you'll search for top headphones in 2025. You'll find videos top headphones under 5,000 rupees, top headphones under 2,000 rupees, top headphone under 1,000 rupees, top headphones under 500 rupees. So that's the way India functions. So that is the kind of content we create. So we continue to create content on price sensitivity, other features like we'll say top noise cancelling headphone under 5,000 rupees. Although ANC, the active noise cancelling would be very weak. Or the cheaper smartwatches don't have GPS inbuilt. But we'll do top 5,000 top watches with GPS under 5,000 rupees, like an Amazfit would have it or something would have it. Um, so like you said earlier, in India, quality does.
I hope this podcast gets discovered on Google's YouTube.
Hopefully it will. But I have a follow-up question. So in the AI world, you spoke about traditional search space. Mein, there is a certain kind of content which will be more aligned with the price sensitive nature of the consumer. उस space में आप content create करोगे. Now in the AI world where the ecosystem itself is going undergoing a massive change and shift, how will this strategy evolve further?
See, unfortunately, in search engine optimization, there are more people who try to game Google rather than create value. So what people are doing is that, so there are certain fundamentals of whatever you call it, these new terms which are there, answer engine optimization or generative engine optimization or LLM optimization. I mean, basically it is optimization for the AI answers. So, AI reads the content in a certain manner, takes citations from Wikipedia, Reddit, etc. And it likes paragraphs to be broken into chunks. Uh, I I love to read philosophy. I know what semantic means, but people would use these words like semantic, content creation, this, that. I don't know what that means, but I, I know what they're trying to say. So anything you have to sell, you'll hear agencies create acronyms around it, and they'll tell you that as if the other guys are moron. So these guys have 20 years experience, but I think these guys just get afraid, of acronyms, and they if they ask two questions under the acronyms, that 24-year-old guy would start crying. But in any case, we think he's a bloody genius. So I think in the AI world, obviously you need to understand, just like the voice search, there is a question. Okay. So in your content, you integrate questions, you integrate answers to the questions, and Google themselves understand a few things called schema. With schema, Google understands what this page is about. So there is something called a how-to schema. So basically, you explain to Google in a technical language that this is how to. I mean, what I've explained is a how-to thing. I mean, how-to thing works more in recipes and, changing your tire. But, it may work for, AI as well. Then there is FAQ schema. Although Google has kind of phased out FAQ schema a lot. It doesn't work that way. But, I mean, like I'm saying, in lack of better word, you throw in a technical thing and that sounds more convincing than the generic advice you're giving in life. So that may work. Then article schema obviously is there. But I think the best thing is the way you write content. I think writing for AI is answering the question right, and you know answering 5 scenarios about that question. Sub questions of that. uh, you know, we catch the snake from the tail rather than thinking that, okay, what content can help the user? We say, okay, some expert has given these 5 guidelines, FAQ schema. I mean, I would request people to think from, okay, what content can help them? Like I don't fully agree with Mr. Ayer of Economic Times, but I read his article. Then I like a guy from Bloomberg. I am not remembering his name. He writes pretty well. Uh, so Andy Mukherjee, I think Andy something. So yeah, so the way you structure content for AI is very important, because AI reads the content in a certain manner, and AI generally answers questions or helps people in solving, how should I say, a more real problem. Because when people go to Google, a lot of times they're just searching. There's no, that real intent in terms of they're getting their homework done. Like we've seen the categories like education, like classifieds, like news. So Gautam would remember, if you place an ad, for example, on Naukri.com or timesjobs.com, you'll not get CTR, because the consumer is searching for job so intently that he'll not click on the banner. Okay, so ChatGPT is that kind of, AI searches are that category. There is more intent in search than the intent in search on Google. You know what I'm saying? Because he's either looking for homework or his daughter's work or his son's work, or he's wanting to know something which he's got to answer to his customer. So there is more intent there. So if you want to influence that particular consumer, your content needs to
Basically, if I hear you correctly, Sandeep, you're saying almost every content creator, it could be a journalist, it could be a normal person who's writing articles or creating content, will have to think in mind how the AI engine will sort of uh, read your content. So more question answer format is a way that to is a way to create content. Is that am I framing it correctly?
broadly, yes, but Gautam, since you and I come from the publisher side, we know the intent and the kind of investment which goes into education. And I want to, I mean, if any marketing teams are listening or CMOs are listening, I want to give you a very important advice. Do not get content written from agencies. Most of the content which you'll get from agencies is AI content. I mean, it is absolutely third class. And how do you expect writers who are 30, 40,000 rupees in an agency, even less? And when you do these deals of 2 rupees per word or 3 rupees word, I mean, you should be educated enough to know that, this is going to churn out shit. Have some proper writers. You afford it. Why don't you get a, people, journalists are not getting much jobs, by the way. I mean, like, why don't you, if you are an BFSI brand, get some guys from Live Mint, Money Control, they'll come at 70, 80,000 rupees. Decent guys, educated well by senior editors, get content written from them. They come from a very disciplined place, because so one piece of plagiarism or AI content, the news companies fire you, because news companies still have some ethics in terms of content writing. So please invest in content writing, and do not get content written from an agency. I mean, even the agency sales guy who comes to sell content, he doesn't know shit. I mean, I don't even understand. I mean, how do you get convinced? And these agencies said we write premium content. And these days, I heard something, a very big brand, a very big brand. He says we are doing programmatic SEO by using an AI content agency. So what are you saying? Content is getting de-indexed by Google. And right now, as I'm talking, we are going through August spam update of Google. And in spam update, Google wipes out AI content. And if AI content works, see, I built a dummy site just to check it. So I just gave this AI software one thing, the doors. And I said, create 500 articles and publish it on WordPress. 2 hours. See, if AI content is good, then say the algorithm has to be good. We'll make it this. Completely stupid. And then said there are experts who say, Google doesn't differentiate between as long as quality is good. How can quality be good? Well, it's very, very difficult. See, that is where I feel the brands are missing the bus completely.
So that's good to know. At least human beings will keep their jobs for a while now, at least.
100%. Look at Amazon. Amazon is paying 5 to 10,000 rupees and fueling their content ecosystem. You see a lot of these comparative articles, which are from Gadgets Now, which are from 91 Mobiles, which are from other brands. See, why are they paying this money? They can't do AI things. I mean, see, especially brands should understand it. See, they are not 12th graders, writing their homework from AI. You understand what I'm saying? You have the budget. See, the biggest problem in India is not a self-serve country. In India, say brand say, especially the marketing teams, आओ और मुझे सर्व करो. मैं कुछ नहीं करूँगा. मुझे कुछ नहीं करना. I'm paying you money. So one, you should serve me, and second, you should be subservient.
But I agree with you. अभी this is media sales for around 40 years. तो sales वालों की तो you are used to it.
देखिए अभी क्या है ना, जैसा जीरोदा है, अपस्टॉक्स है, स्विगी है, इनके जो मार्केटिंग हेड्स होंगे ना वो मैच्योर होंगे, उन पे प्रेशर इतना है और वो मतलब यंग है, टेक्नोलॉजी ओरिएंटेड है, तो वो डीप में जाएंगे क्योंकि आई वर्क विद लॉट ऑफ दी स्टार्टअप्स. Here the CEO talks. CEO comes to an SEO meeting. Yeah, okay, Sandeep, I want to know. And he is absolutely shameless. He says, I'm totally shameless. I don't know this, but you're saying this term. What does it mean? How does it impact my business? Quickly tell me. So that is the difference which we want to see in the bigger brands.
Absolutely. Cool. So Sandeep, this is very enlightening and also very informative. I think any more questions, Junaid, before Sandeep sort of gets, I think he has to go. So let's sort of wrap it up. The first discussion over here.
So now that AI has taken over, and you said, you need to genuinely answer questions directly when you create content for optimization. What is the role of genuineness and honesty in the kind of content you create? Is there an elevated role for these two attributes when it comes to content creation in the AI world, of course?
100%. 100%. I think this is proven by the fact that, we see what a $1 billion case New York Times has put on ChatGPT. And this shows how ChatGPT values New York Times. And ChatGPT has signed a very big deal with the AFP, So why are the AI companies signing deals? And now there is a deal which Perplexity is allowing per article. So per piece of content, if you use it, we're going to pay you. So that is the kind of huge value they give to genuine content. So I think there is huge amount of value of genuine content. I think the only challenge which a person pointed out, which is an amazing analogy, is that he says, so first there was original content. Okay, suppose there is a stack of original content, and this original content inspired some AI content. So it became 80-20. Then it became 70-30. Then the inspiration 30-40% is AI content. It's not original content. You understand what I'm saying? So he says slowly the inspiration is going to be AI content. AI content will be created on AI content. So he says it is going to be a basket of complete shit. for lack of better word, pardon my language, because the inspiration is also going to come from AI content. You get what I'm saying? He made a very, very good assertion.
Hmm. Got it.
So in the future, what when my kid is already grown up, she's 20. So I mean, as the next generation, they'll read something which is completely AI.
AI generated. Yeah. The
Because
seed, plant,
the
everything.
AI generation, yeah, the
Totally.
content is generated not on the base of a original content, but on the base of an AI content.
AI content. Yeah. Got it.
So the quality would, continue to go down. I think he made a very good point.
What is behind this Perplexity making an offer to Google?
I didn't read much about it, to be very frank. See, I think Perplexity is a good model. I've used it. But Perplexity has not got the legs in terms of numbers. And
Yeah.
these AI models move very fast. And like, in my view, the Perplexity owner knows that his thunder can be stolen any day. As he's stealing thunder of other software, somebody will steal his thunder. So I think he's desperate for distribution. So first thing he's done is he's come to India. Yeah, like the Instagrammers who are popular in US, they put posts about India
Yeah.
so that they get
Yes.
Indian followers, because India is a big country. And if you've got 100 million followers, nobody knows if 30 million of them are Indians.
Absolutely.
So
And
this guy,
they've cracked the India distribution by getting into a tie-up with Airtel, right? So
by getting Airtel. So that is only for distribution, not for. So he wants to show, look, if ChatGPT is getting 100 billion searches, I'm also getting 20 billion, whereas he was getting 5. You know what I'm saying? So in terms of number of queries, he's much below. I think going into Chrome is also the same thing. He wants to get a big browser and the distribution has to be big. So I think Perplexity will not survive unless it gets the distribution.
great. Great.
This is my view, although I'm not fully sure of what he's thinking.
No, I think, at this point of time, it's only views, right? No one knows what's going to happen because it's such an evolving space. It's such a new space. So no one can say with absolute surety that this is how things are going to pan out.
Sure.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks,
Thanks,
Gautam. Thanks,
please,
Junaid.
for time. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Sandeep. Nice talking to you. Bye.